Esther McVeigh, one of the 12,000 leadership contenders for the Conservative Party, has had a little bit of a tiff with a couple of her senior Conservative colleagues over the Muslim parents in Birmingham who do not want their children to be indoctrinated into LGBT at school. Ms McVeigh, whatever title she gives herself, she is of the view that parents know what is best for their children, and if these Muslim parents or any parents do not want their children to have LGBT classes, then they should have every right to withdraw them from them. On the other hand, Justine Greening and Amber Rudd take a different view. You can't pick and choose on human rights and equality. Children should understand a modern and diverse Britain they're growing up in. Matters for social mobility too. You can't be your best if you can't be yourself. Quite right. A modern Tory party should not just be proud of our LGBT achievements, but champion them. When I was at school in the 70s, the only sex education we had was when we were about 13 or 14. We had biology classes on how babies were made. And I think it's fair to say that we all had pre-knowledge about the dirty deed that started the ball rolling on that. I went to a secondary school in Norwich and a comprehensive school in Worthing. And we were never taught anything about homosexuality, good or bad. We were never taught anything. They were just bog standard state schools, as Mr. Campbell would call them. We found out about homosexuality amongst ourselves at about the age of 11. And when we did, it was so disgusting that we found it absolutely hilarious. Now, one lives and learns, and I became quite a bit of a lefty in my teenage years, and I took a very liberal view on homosexuals and homosexuality. If that was their thing, that was their thing. We had to respect them, and we shouldn't judge them for it. But at the same time, I didn't kid myself. I found it disgusting. Now, in 1981, Margaret Thatcher introduced to the Local Government Act Clause 28, since repealed. And this is what Clause 28 was about. A local authority shall not intentionally promote homosexuality or publish material with the intention of promoting homosexuality. Promote the teaching in any maintained school of the acceptability of homosexuality as a pretended family relationship. Clause 28 came about because Islington was the foremost loony left council in Britain that was trying to foist propaganda on school children to make them accept that homosexuality was normal. And warrior, just a few years later, it was established that in a council that wanted to impose its views on homosexuality on school children, rampant child sex abuse was taking place in all 12 of its care homes. Well, who'd have thunk?
says it's a difficult area.
We have to try to find ways to persuade those young people, some of whom were prostitutes.
Plenty of reading material in the links below if you want to take a further look at this. Clause 28 was repealed by the Blair government in 2003. Blair actually had the effrontery to make ex-Islington council leader Margaret Hodge, who presided over this systematic child abuse and rebuffed any raising of concerns with her. He actually had the effrontery to make her children's minister. Under the heavy weight of the propaganda blitzkrieg from the crypto-paedophile lobby and its delivery systems, the BBC and Channel 4, branding anyone a bigot who supported Clause 28, the Tory party eventually folded, and under Cameron opened the sluice gates to the brave new world that paedophiles and their enablers have been looking for. Let's take a look at a recent article in the Daily Mail. This England, St. George's Day, 2019. Why is my teenage girl picked on for not being gay or trans? A disturbing look at how teachers and pupils have turned tolerance on its head. Every day after school, my 13-year-old daughter Bella tells me about her day. I did the same when I was her age. I recall chatting with my mum about the latest house netball scores, my test marks, and who I ate my lunch with. When Bella relays the latest events with dizzying stories of gender fluidity and sexual politics, it's clear how much times have changed. Bella has had precious little information in her PSHE lessons on how to have a heterosexual relationship, yet at the start of this term she was given a seminar on gender and sexual preference led by 5 of the school's transsexual, non-binary, not identifying as male or female, and gay sixth formers. Bella described walking into the hall and being shown a PowerPoint presentation on the meaning of a selection of words ranging from transgender to asexual. One word whose meaning Bella did not yet know the meaning of was cisgender. The word, which is being heard more and more, is defined as people whose gender identity matches the sex that they were assigned at birth. In other words, Bella has been told she now has a label for being born a girl and wanting to stay one. Baffled, she told me after school, "I am a girl. I like being a girl. Until now, it didn't occur to me that I needed to justify it." After this word definition game, the assembled year group of 250 pupils were shown a video called "Who Am I?" Finally, the class were asked for a show of hands as to whether they had found the talk useful and enjoyable. Bella told me, "I wasn't sure about it, but I didn't dare not put my hand up in case some of the girls called me transphobic." The pendulum needs to swing back. Not, in my opinion, as far back as it was, but not far off it. When I was growing up, if grown men wanted access to little boys in schools to teach them getting buggered was normal, they'd get their collar felt. And that is where we need to get back to. One hopes that this Conservative leadership election will actually produce a Conservative leader who will make the Conservative Party conservative again. If not, one can but hope that the Brexit Party will be the Conservative Party that Britain needs and does not have. But whether we get Brexit or not, if things keep going the way they are going, our future is more dantesque than we can possibly imagine.